and thank you for joining us today on our first ever Biggie Hurt 35 Pennsylvania Sports, History, and More. In today's video, I am joined by Boom Carson.
How you doing?
And Shaden Caden. And today, we will be learning about Jacob Nelson Fox. Jacob Nelson Fox, otherwise known as Nellie Fox, was born on Christmas Day, 1927. He met his future wife, Joanne, in 1943. They became engaged on Christmas Day in 1946 and later married June 1948. He is survived by his wife and two daughters, Tracy and Bonnie.
Nellie played professional baseball from 1947 to 1965. One of the best second basemen of all time as well. Third most difficult hitter to strike out in the Major League Baseball. Spent most of his career with the Chicago Whitesox, bookended by multiple stints for the Philadelphia Athletics, and later the Houston Colt 45s, now the Houston Astros today. Epitome of a salsa who was christened Jacob Nelson Fox, but known to all baseball fans as Nellie. A strange nickname for a baseball player who was one of the toughest guys out there. Fox's trademarks in baseball was the giant patch of chew jutting from his jaw and the bottle-sized bat with the ability to get a piece of the baseball at the plate.
In 1949, the Philadelphia Athletics set Major League team record for 217 double plays and a record that stood until 2012. Then the A's traded Fox to the White Sox for Joe Tipton in 1949, then played 14 seasons with the White Sox. Becoming an American League All-Star for 12 seasons, 1951 through 1961 and 1963. He was also an AL MVP for one season, 1959. He was also a 3-time Gold Glove champion through 1957, 1959, and 1960.
His career batting average was .288. His hits was 2,663.
And his career home runs was 35, and career RBIs was 790. Fox was one of the best second basemen in the major leagues. He played next to a pair of slick-fielding White Sox shortstops from Venezuela, Chico Carrasquel and Luis Aparicio. He was the first Major League Gold Glove Award winner for a second baseman in 1957, and he received 2 more Gold Glove awards in 1959 and 1960. Between August of 1956 and September of 1960, Fox played a major league record at the time 798 consecutive games at second base. In 1959 and 1960, the Aparicio-Fox middle infield duo won 2 Gold Gloves twice for their respective positions, becoming the first, and now a dozen, shortstop second baseman combination who both won Gold Gloves in the same season. Fox led the league's second baseman in defensive games played for each season between 1952 and 1959. He also led second baseman in putouts between 1952 and 1961, and in assists several times during his career. Fox finished among the top 5 second basemen in fielding percentage every year between 1950 and 1964, and currently ranks second in career double plays as a second baseman.
Fox lived in St. Thomas Township in Pennsylvania. After his days were over, he co-owned and managed the Nellie Fox Bowl in Chambersburg. After retiring with baseball, he was diagnosed with skin cancer in 1973. In October 75, he was admitted to the Baltimore Cancer Research Center and he was treated for metastatic cancer, and Fox died on December 1st, 1975 at the age of 47. He was buried at St. Thomas Cemetery in St. Thomas.
Jim Lemon, who played for the White Sox with Fox in 1963, said that Fox's cancer was incurable, because if it wasn't, Fox would have beaten it. Former White Sox manager A.L. Lopez described how Fox had found success through hard work rather than natural ability. He wasn't fast and didn't have an arm, but he worked hard to develop what he needed to make himself a good all-around ball player. If you had 8 Nellie Foxes with his spirit and determination, I'd think you would have a winning team. On May 1st, 1976, Fox's uniform number 2 was retired by the White Sox. He is the second of 10 White Sox players to have this uniform number retired.
Fox was not selected to the Hall of Fame in his initial period of eligibility. In his final ballot cast by baseball writers in 1985, he gained 74.7% of the final vote, just shy of 75%. Traditionally, baseball percentages were rounded off, required for election by Baseball Writers Association of America. However, in 1997, the Hall of Fame Veterans Committee elected him. He had the required 75% of the committee's vote in 1996, but the committee was allowed to vote in only one. Former MLB player Jim Bunning was inducted after receiving one more vote than Fox. Prior to his Hall of Fame election, a group of fans formed the Nellie Fox Society to promote his case for induction. The group grew as many as 600 members, including Richard M. Daley, James R. Thompson, George Will, and several former MLB players. Deservedly, Nellie Fox needed to be in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And we are here today at his final resting place to pay our respects to one of baseball's best second basemen, Jacob Nelson Fox.